Hello, it is Monday, November 28th, 2022. I'm Chris Remo, and welcome back to the New York Times Crossword Daily Solve. It's a Monday puzzle today, which means it should be relatively straightforward, and that's good because I don't have a huge amount of time today. Monday mornings actually are tend to be my most time-constrained morning, so let's see how this goes. It should be all right. And this hopefully quick edition of the Daily Solve has been brought to us by Alex, Laura Sexton, and, as always, the inestimable Hood Monster, the invaluable Timothy Mark, and the indomitable Showmaster. So thank you so much to the 5 of them, benefactors of the Daily Solve Patreon campaign, for their generous support in bringing us this series and sustaining the channel for me every day. Thank you so much for that. And if you'd like to become a benefactor yourself, like those 5, and get the Daily Solve Let's Check the Crosses mug, you can find that at patreon.com/Daily Solve, or in a link in the description field underneath the video, of course. And at that same link, you can become a patron at any level and get access to all of the bonus videos that have gone up on the channel to date, as well as the new ones that go up each week. And thank you to everybody who's done that as well, of course. With a link in that same description field, you can also join the Daily Solve Discord chat server, nice friendly community, and you can subscribe. Well, it's not in a link under there, but you know how to do it, to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Thanks to everybody who's done that as well. All right, let's get on to the puzzle. This is a Monday crossword. It was constructed by Chloe Reverie, and this is Chloe's first New York Times puzzle, a debut construction, and it was edited, as always, by Will Shorts. So let's start solving. Amount between none and all would be some, any or some, I suppose. Skull and Crossbones Fraternity for short. I mean, I wouldn't have known this off the top of my head, but Sigma maybe? Or it could be Psi something. Short for Sigma? Yeah, I'm not sure. Let's keep looking. Golfer Lorena, I don't know. Wheeled vehicle designed to function in low gravity. Oh, a moon rover? Yeah. Many a Star Trek officer, an ensign, presumably, and a naval rank, and a clickable image is an icon. Skull and crossbow. Oh, right. Oh, we just looked at that. Sorry. Pepper measuring over 1 million on the Scoville scale. So the Scoville scale is the scale of heat we use to describe the heat of peppers and things like that. The ghost something, I think. Ghost pepper. Ghost. There's also the Scotch bonnet. I guess that's probably not that hot, and it doesn't fit with the N anyway. So this does look like maybe it is Sigma. Or I guess it could be Sig something. That could still be an abbreviation for Sigma. I don't know. Is this Ochoa? Lorena Ochoa, maybe? Ages and Ages. An Eon, perhaps. Yeah. Oh, Sig Ep, maybe? Sigma Epsilon? Chanel number 5, par exemple, is a perfume, or in French, parfum, I suppose. I don't think I said that very well, but in any case, so this was Lorena Ochoa. There we go. Okay, I think I maybe recognized that name. We also had Ellen Ochoa in the crossword, I think, yesterday. So there's a little bit of an echo. Fatty flesh. Flab, maybe? And a longtime friend could be an old pal, I would think. What about this one? Spending time away from parents for summer stay. You're at camp. At summer camp. Clunk. Thud. Just a big, dull, loud sound. Israeli port north of Tel Aviv. Is it Haifa? Haifa. Let's check the crosses. When doubled, a brightly colored fish. Mahi? I think that's right. Organization for HIV Prevention and Study. I am not sure offhand based on the AM. What about this? Knights of the Round Table, of course, the Arthurian legend. And big retailer of outdoor gear. Oh, this, I think, clued almost identically in the puzzle just in the last couple of days. REI, the US-based cooperative retailer. Okay. Oh, Ghost Chili. There we go. That would have been if I was going to just guess a word that could have been describing a pepper, it should have been that. But I didn't. There we go. The A of E.A. Poe, the poet Edgar Allan Poe. What Why don't I know what this is? That's so strange. Organization for HIV Prevention and Study. Sorry, I'm just not sure offhand. Certain collection of criminal evidence and documents. An FBI file. Right. Oh, right. Haifa. Okay. Right. I think I was on the right track with that. I thought it was an A. Maybe E.A. Edgar Allan Poe with an A. I hope that's the case. That's tricky for a Monday. Two proper nouns crossing one another like that, with, I think, fairly plausible. I mean, Allen with an E is also not uncommon, and so yeah, if you didn't know that, that would be a tricky cross, and I may still have it wrong. I don't know, but I think it's an A. They're the picture of innocence in the pictures. Infants? No. Oh, and what's going on? Oh, fuming, this looks like. It looks like we've spelled the word fuming in the circled cells, crossing over this black cell. Let's keep looking around. Treadless as tires. Bald tires, maybe, or worn, perhaps? Cow-like. Bovine literally means cow-like. French farewell. Adieu, maybe? Scent. Odor. And towels off. Dries, as in dries yourself. Towels yourself off. Towel yourself off. Après ski locale. A lodge, a ski lodge. So that's the sort of French loanword phrase, après ski, that is not actually used by the French for this purpose. I don't know what the origin of it is. Okay, so, well, I mean, the origin is obviously still the French language, but I don't know who coined this as a phrase used in the English language, I guess is what I mean. Okay, Veni Vidi Vici, Caesar's boast, or Kaiser's boast. And livid has been spelled out. So we have livid, fuming. Maybe one of these will be irate and angry. Drawn out attack, a siege, a sustained attack. To have a feeling is to sense. Oh, ingenues. Right. Okay. So I think probably this is referring in a filmic sense specifically to a sort of young woman character who's innocent and probably, I don't know, maybe sassy or particularly bubbly as a personality. I don't know. I think that's often how they're depicted. Like many a Tarantino movie. Gory, perhaps? And individual one person, an individual person. Brings up as a child, rears a child. And best picture winner, as they're making a portmanteau of picture and winner, apparently. Anyway, the best picture winner set in Iran recently is Argo, I would think. And the whole shebang is a phrase. So right here, indeed, we have spelled out angry. What if I just put in irate here? Let's see if it works. It may not. Oops. Haven't read the clues yet. So relaxed. Yes, it is. To be relaxed is to be at ease. And a French farewell. Here we go. Some more formal farewell would be au revoir. There we go. Okay. Called off as a launch. It's no go. It's been called off, the launch. Which happened several times recently to NASA, of course, until they finally succeeded. And Stayin' Blank, Stayin' Alive, Bee Gees' song, often used as CPR training. And I think that's because it's a solid 120 beats per minute. So you can exactly, so every other beat is once per second, essentially. And then every beat is twice per second. Okay. Blank, loose lips sink ships. So as the phrase goes. And, I couldn't quite read this in the little version. Pi r squared for a circle. That is the formula for the area of a circle. And what is it? Is it 3 pi? Is that the diameter? Anyway. Not solid as a... No, that doesn't make any sense. What is the diameter of a circle? Oh, that's annoying. I can't think. Oh, well, now I'm going to have to look it up. I can't. It's not a thing I've had to think about for probably decades. Not solid as billiard ball. Striped, not solid. So stripes and solids. Adornment on a fez is a tassel on the top of that variety of hat. And ability to think rationally is what? Is what I'm not demonstrating at the moment. Sanity, I suppose? Right, okay, I was looking for something more specific than that, I suppose, but no. I suppose that makes sense, and that the lack of sanity would be the inability to do as such. Eminem hit that has become slang for a superfan stan. This is sort of becoming a bit of crosswordese stan being used to clue a superfan, as in the Eminem song of the same name. Blank ball arcade game. Skee ball is a game you'd find in an arcade. And what a flower grain may grow from. A rye seed, I suppose? A seed, proper terminology there? Praise, yes. Praiseful poem is, of course, an ode, the official poetic form of the New York Times crossword. Blank haw, donkey sound. Donkeys are often said to make the sound hee-haw. And owl's question, an owl might be asking who, because of course that is the sound an owl makes. So we have a who and a hee-haw crossing one another. Two animal sounds. On the mark as an insult or as a dart. Well aimed, a well-aimed insult or a well-aimed dart. Roadside stopover could be you could have an inn on the side of a road to stop over for the night. Potter's Potions Professor. This will be Harry Potter. I wouldn't have known this from the clue without the crosses, but this must be the character Snape, of whom I have heard. So there we go. And end on a high note would be one. We could have ended the puzzle here because it includes the last cell in the grid, but it didn't end up that way. Unspoiled paradise would be Eden, of course, from the biblical story, and then aspiring professor's exam is a GRE, standardized test for graduate school admission. Repo Man, 1984 cult film. I've never actually seen it, but I've heard of it. And really miffed, or a hint to the circled letters, hopping mad. Oh, right, and there we go. So our synonyms for mad, at least in U.S. English anyway, to mean angry, are hopping over these sort of little barriers, these little fences here. So livid, fuming, angry, and irate. Nice simple Monday theme. And gem mined in Australia, an opal, I suppose. In an unusual manner would be doing something oddly. And this poker hand's no good. I fold. Oh, I spelled oddly incorrectly. Sorry about that. And here we have DreamWorks princess who remains an ogress after true love's kiss. Fiona. So that must be the character from Shrek, which is a DreamWorks animated film. And cry from a goat is a bleat. And euphoria error is HBO. So that'll be an HBO program. Okay, like 86% of New York State, contrary to stereotype, rural, I suppose. I guess the stereotype in the sense that people probably, broadly associate New York State with New York City, because it represents such a significant percentage of its population. Okay, encouraged is what? Urged, perhaps. And big name in arcade games, Atari. So don't think Atari would have made Skee Ball, our other arcade game reference in the puzzle, but could have been present in the same facility. Agreement to end a feud could be a truce. You could call an end to the hostilities. And the Taj Mahal locale is Agra, of course. Inspect for information as a gas meter. You could read your gas meter. So I did that yesterday. And to run without moving as a car would be to idle your car. And your 20s or 50s, but not your 5s. It's a decade. It could be a decade of your life. Of course, your 5s are not a decade. Although it seems like it at that age, it's amazing how the 1 year may as well be a decade worth of sort of changes to your interiority at that age. Anyway, use a shovel, dig. And Dar es Salaam, Tanzanian city. And acid that's dropped would be LSD, the psychotropic drug. And I've got it could be, aha, I've got it. And Mount Etna output is lava. There we go. as expected and as requested, I assume, but well, sure. This was a nice, gentle Monday puzzle with a nice, gentle theme, a fun, simple theme, hopping mad with our livid, fuming, angry, and irate hopping over the fence here. And otherwise, pretty straightforward puzzle. I do think that this A here, crossing the Israeli port and the EA Po answers, was a bit of a tricky one. That I think, I mean, you could simply try two, but there are probably really only two plausible possibilities, so it's not as though it would hold anyone up for a huge amount of time. It was just a little bit surprising on a Monday, that's all. Other than that, I don't think there was anything that was outrageously difficult. I mean, I could imagine people not knowing individual bits of knowledge, but I think most of the rest of it was crossed pretty thoroughly. So there we go. All right, that was the Monday crossword debut construction by Chloe Reverie. I enjoyed it. I hope you did as well. And that went fairly quickly, so I will use this time to read at least a couple of the comments from yesterday's puzzle, the ones that were more expressly corrections. There was a lot of interesting information in the comments in yesterday's video in general, just sort of interesting context around various bits of knowledge. But I will read the two that were corrections in which I either forgot or misstated something. So Sam, aka Frisco17, points out, fairly obviously, but not to me at the time, Betsy Ross is a sower, one who sows. So that was referring to the sower from history, and I just figured, oh, that must be a name, because I'm sure I've seen historical figures with that name, sower or sewer, and I don't know, but it was Betsy Ross who famously sewed the American flag. So that from Sam, aka Frisco17. And Telegnostic does point out, let's not overlook the contributions of Ross Sewer, the inventor of the underground drainage canal. Is that really true? Is that just a joke? Rod sounds like a joke. I don't think that's correct. I think that's just a gag. Anyway, Sean Monahan points out, I think you missed noting 52 down with CPA when you were doing the theme clue. Right. Pro who gets many returns was the clue. I remember seeing that. And yes, I never went back to it. I think I thought it was going to be something tennis related, maybe, or something like that. Anyway, certified public accountant gets tax returns. Quite a nice surface. So there we go. Thank you, Sam Monahan, for pointing that out. And that's that for today. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'll be back, of course, tomorrow for the Tuesday edition of the New York Times Crossword. Should be another relatively simple themed puzzle. But we'll find out, won't we? Well, you will if you return. But until then, please do have an excellent remainder of your Monday. Take care.